All right. Well, thank you so much. Welcome to the Patient Safety Science and Technology Summit. Obviously, this is our inaugural meeting. We're quite excited. Yesterday, all day long, today, I've been running into friends, and they keep asking me, "Are you nervous?" And I said yes. And one of my friends said to me, I think Nat Sims, where are you, Nat? There he is, Dr. Nat Sims. He said to me, "Well, why are you nervous?" I said, "Well, I want to do this topic. I want to do this issue justice, and I don't want to let it down because it's such a big issue." And his answer to me was, "You already have. You brought these amazing people together, and these amazing people are the ones that are going to make sure that patient safety is going to be changed forever. And we're going to go from this 200,000 plus people dying of preventable deaths every year to zero." So I think he's right. I really think I did my work. So I'm going to sit down very quickly because you guys, you're here, and I love the fact that you're here, and I know why you're here. You've come here because you love your fellow man, and I mean men and women, your fellow man, and I want to tell you, I love you guys for that. And I can't thank you enough for joining me and not making me feel like I'm alone in this journey. So thank you. A big round of applause to you. That's going to take the pressure off of me. You know, many times in the past, I've had big dreams. And very good friends of mine have said to me, "Are you crazy? Are you crazy?" And you know, and they're all very happy when I actually have proven them wrong and that the dreams have become real. And I've had some big dreams. I've had the dream of having a company that had, forgive me, I don't want to insult anyone, but a company without assholes. That's Massimo. And once in a while they come in, but we quickly get rid of them. I had a dream of making measured through motion pulse oximetry a reality. I had a dream of making non-invasive carbon monoxide, non-invasive hemoglobin a reality. And I had a dream of changing the misaligned incentives so that hospitals get the best products at the best prices and not having this misaligned incentive of group purchasing organizations and suppliers and hospitals that have too often got the wrong stuff in the wrong hands or in the right hands. But of all the dreams I've had, none seem as important as this dream, the dream of no more preventable patient death. You know, a decade ago, that number was over 100,000. A decade later, it's doubled. It's doubled to over 200,000. Just Medicare alone has put the number of their patients that have died from preventable causes to 188,000. And Medicare patients in the US represent only half of the patients in the US. The US patient population represents less than 40% patients of the world. So the true number is probably 500,000. 500,000 patients are probably dying of preventable deaths. I mean, that is staggering. And we're going to hopefully together change that. We're going to hopefully make that a thing of the past. And tomorrow I'm going to share with you a date. We're going to put a date in place where we're going to together make patient death that's preventable a thing of the past. Now, we're going to do things differently at this meeting. At this meeting, we're not going to try what's been tried before. A lot of wonderful people have tried many things to take this patient death problem and do something about it. But you know, the definition of insanity, as you know, is repeating the same thing but expecting a different result. So we're going to do things differently here. One, we're going to make sure that we collaborate together. You know, the whole issue of engineers, hospitals, companies, doctors, we're all in this thing together. and we're going to bring them all together. And then we're not going to be afraid of taking ideas, taking topics that we think we know what to do about based on scientific evidence, and create strong and concrete recipes to how to get rid of these problems. And it's going to enrich some companies. It's going to enrich, maybe it'll do the opposite of the ones that are not listed. But I can't imagine giving somebody a recipe of a cake and not giving them the full ingredient list. So we're going to do that differently here. We're going to do it. We're going to be scientific, but we're not going to be academic. And we're going to do whatever it takes to put the patients first instead of any other thoughts. You know, the people that have come in front of you to speak over the next 48 hours, and a lot more are coming tomorrow, but the people that have come here, from Peter Pronovost to Chuck Denham, from Ryan Bingham to Mark Casson, from Claudia Draeger to President Clinton, none of them have taken anything, they're not getting an honorarium, they're not getting any money. The only thing they've asked for is to be part of this movement to take the 200,000 patient deaths plus and help it go to zero. A big round of applause for these people who've taken their time to come. I've talked about having these big dreams that look impossible, and somehow we make it real. The reason they become real isn't because of my actions. I'm not some amazingly capable person, as you'll know over the next 48 hours. But because the dreams that I have are important, the dreams that I have are worthy of the attention of great people that are very capable. And somehow, because we gather these capable people, these dreams become real. Never before have I had a bigger dream, but never before have I had more capable people that have come with their love, that have come with their hearts to solve this crisis that we're having in our hospitals. You know, the last millennium was about getting access to health care. This millennium is about access to health care with a systemic approach to provide patient dignity and patient safety. And this group of individuals that have surrounded us, you, the fact that you've all come, that's what's going to make this dream real. I have one other thing we're going to do differently. And the other thing we're going to do differently, there is no audience in this meeting. We're all participants. And if you don't make a commitment, if you don't make a pledge to either go back to your hospitals with these recipes, one of them, any of them, and enact them, or if you don't make the pledge to share as companies your data that is for patients' good to anyone that can use that patient data, or if you don't come up with your own pledge that's going to make a huge dent in patient safety, as much as I love you, you can't come back next year. And we are going to get back here next year. Because the one thing that people know about me, I don't give up till we've done it. I'm not going to give up. My pledge to you is I will not give up until we've either have hit zero or fast have approached zero, and the rest of you have taken this thing over. So please, while I'd rather have twice as many of you next year with pledges and commitments to do it right, I'll take 10 of you back next year that are committed. Because with 10 committed people, we can do more than 1,000 that are just involved. Let's make sure I didn't forget anything. So the next couple of days, as you sit here, or as you come up here, you're going to come up with thoughts. You're going to come up with ideas of how we can make patient safety better. This is going to hopefully trigger thoughts in your head. When you have those ideas, please share them with us. the engineer in me is going to make sure we come up with measurable actions and we measure them to make sure we did what we thought we were going to do, and if necessary, adapt till we get to where we want to go. And to do that, we're going to have a couple of meetings between now and next meeting. And those are going to be the pre-planning meetings. And any of you who want to be part of that, any of you who want to join into that, we would love it. We would love it, because this is not about me. This is not about the steering committee that I'm grateful for, that have helped put this thing together. It's about saving the patients' lives. They should be going home, but instead, unfortunately, too often, they have a different faith. In the next 10 years, if we're lucky, if everything stayed the same, we would lose 2 million plus neighbors, friends, and loved ones. But we're going to make a radical and achievable goal. I'm going to tell you that date tomorrow, because I'm going to talk to you all, most of you tonight. I'm going to come up with a date that we all feel like we're going to get it done by. Because we're going to reverse it. So that if in 10 years we don't get to keep our 2 million neighbors and loved ones, in 20 years, we do. We have a long list of things to do, and I'm probably going late. I have a few more minutes. But look, I applaud you for coming. Tomorrow I'm going to tell you about some of the amazingly serious, amazingly successful companies that have made the pledge to make the data that their products produce become the patient's data, so that one day, if not one of us in this room, some 20-something-year-old kid, whether it's in Mission Viejo, Palo Alto, or Scottsdale, or Baltimore, wherever, they come up with an idea of how to bring it all together so we don't have another Rory Staunton in New York who, because of the data that didn't get connected to the right person at the right time, died from sepsis shock, a 12-year-old boy. I want to thank you all. And I want to tell you, when I say I really love you all, I do, because you've brought your love, you've brought your amazing gift of doing amazing things in your lives to this meeting. You know, we've all worked very hard, hoping that doors would open so we can make a difference. Because of what you've done, because of what you accomplished, because of the results you got, the door is opening now to you to step into the patient safety, science, and technology movement, not just a summit, and help us go from 200,000 plus lives lost a year to 0. So thank you. I hope this meeting will indeed be different. It needs to be different. It needs to be better. And hopefully, on top of the very noble efforts of many other people together that are not even here today, other groups, amazing organizations, we will get to 0 patient deaths from preventable causes. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Michael O'Reilly. Dr. O'Reilly is Masimo's Chief Medical Officer, Professor of Anesthesiology at University of California, Irvine.